Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So what's on tap for today? Well, we've got another great video clip for you folks. It's from the Young Turks. That's right, folks, who I affectionately call the Young Turkeys, or their nom de plume, the Young Jerks. Ana and Cenk are here, and they are talking about Kayleigh McEnany, the former press secretary to President Trump, and it looks like she might be itching to have run, Ferris, run, Ron, run, Desantis, run, right? Anyways, we're going to get to all of that in the next few seconds. But before we do so, we just want to let you know you're watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Nasir. If it's your first time here, you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Comment below what you think. Let's get to Ana and Cenk spinning as usual. Let's do that right now.
When you look at Nikki Haley's polling, she was at about 1%. Now she's at 3%. She was the hottest name in Republican politics in 2011 to like 2015, I would say. This is the case, what you're watching right now, polling at 3% for Governor Ron DeSantis to get in now. People say, will he get in? Will he wait? How can you wait when you are currently the hottest governor in Republican politics, seeing how hard it is to regenerate that attention almost a decade later?
Oof. That was Kayleigh McEnany, who was the press secretary for Donald Trump in the tail end of his term, of course, essentially calling for Ron DeSantis to enter the Republican primaries for 2024. Oh, and then by the way, Nikki Haley. Was Nikki Haley ever a superstar?
Well, in Republican circles, she kind of was. I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, Trump's not gonna like that. He don't like that. Nope. Okay, so incoming attack against Kayleigh McEnany in 3, 2, 1.
Can't wait.
Okay, so I wonder what nickname he's gonna give her. But this one really is an et tu Kayleigh. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we should be expecting some type of an in-volley coming in from the Trumpster against Kayleigh McEnany, obviously. Hey, you're jumping ship, choosing another team, maybe going to work for somebody else. Who knows what it is, but you know what? Listen, folks, this happens all the time in politics. It's nothing that big. If you're going to be upset by this, maybe President Trump might be. Hey, you know what? You got to suck it up and live with it and move on. But I think he's going to try to make some play out of it, make some hay out of it, give some, obviously, some edible information to his opponents so they can do stuff like this, what the Young Turks are doing. And then for us on the, the Trump side are saying, you know what? All right, go for it. You know what? She decided to leave the team. Hey, don't let the door hit you on your cute derriere on the way out. Anyways, let's continue.
She was the biggest Trump fan. And the way she got to be press secretary, she went on TV, debated people like me and Ana, and was like, Trump's the best, he's the greatest of all time. The liberals are so unfair to him, he's a genius of geniuses. Now she's got a nice, comfy job at Fox News, and Rupert Murdoch favors DeSantis over Trump. And all of a sudden, Kayleigh McEnany's like, DeSantis has got to get in against Trump. He's got to get in. He's got to get in right now.
Yep, so good.
You know why? Because none of the right-wing leaders have any morals. So there's no honor among thieves. So she's like,
and the Democrats do, and the progressives do, and the socialists do, and the Marxists do. They all have scruples. They have all morals, but the Republicans don't. Cenk, oh mine. The verbal diarrhea that you spit out all the time. Anyways, let's continue.
it's like, you were buttering my bread before, so I lied on your behalf. Now this guy's buttering my bread, so
is he though?
I lie on his behalf. Not DeSantis, Murdoch.
Oh yes, right? yes. So that was on Fox News, of course. She's now, I don't know, contributor on Fox News.
Of course, she's getting tons of money.
I think Ana there had a little bit of a blonde airhead moment. Okay, the air was sort of escaping. She goes, oh, right, yeah, that was on Fox News. Did you prepare for this at all, Ana? Just kidding, honey. Was funny.
And look, you can see it. If you just pay a little bit of attention, there seems to be a concerted effort by both the Republican establishment and also right-wing media to bolster certainly Ron DeSantis, but now that Nikki Haley has announced that she intends to run in 2024, you're seeing a little bit of that for Nikki Haley as well. And remember, Donald Trump did not have nice things to say about Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley entering the race. In fact, here's a little reminder of that.
Ron would have not been governor if it wasn't for me. Well, then when I hear he might run, I consider that very disloyal. Talked to her for a little while, but I said, look, go by your heart if you want to run. She's publicly stated I would never run against my president. He was a great president.
So he's really, look, I think it's hilarious that he even bothers saying bitter things about Nikki Haley. I don't think that she's got a shot. And I'll explain why later on the show. But I do also want to mention, just to bolster my point about the concerted effort to prop up people like Ron DeSantis. Here's an example of it.
My theory is, wouldn't it be great if DeSantis run with Trump as VP?
DeSantis and Trump are on the ballot. Ben, you first. You only know what you know about them right now.
Who would I vote for in the primary?
Yeah.
I'd vote for DeSantis in the primary.
I'd vote for DeSantis, yeah.
Yeah, I would take DeSantis, yeah.
I am supporting DeSantis. DeSantis is just gone from being awesome to being unbelievably good.
And everywhere you go, you see crazy support for him. And I think he's sort of what the future of the Republican Party is. But in some ways, he's already acting as the president because we have a president who is obviously not doing particularly well.
Now, others have made a difference.
What would you expect from people like at the Daily Wire to be saying, Ben Shapiro with his prognostications in terms of Trump completely wrong, wasn't too particular in terms, didn't care at the time about the Supreme Court, always talks about it, but still was saying, that's not going to be a leading factor for me voting for Donald Trump. He was wrong, as were so many others. So again, keep playing all the pundits, keep playing all of these people that are basically jumping on the DeSantis bandwagon right now. Let's see what happens. Let's see whether or not he decides to get in the ring. My thing is that for my political calculus, why stir up trouble within the Republican base, which is so in love with Trump right now? You're gonna have to win them over. And remember, DeSantis is only the popularity of him. We're seeing it basically on the East Coast, because what we hear from Washington, D.C. and the mainstream media, and from Florida. We don't know how well DeSantis is playing in Middle America, although I think he'll play good, but if it's him and Trump in Middle America, I don't think he's going to do as well. So my thing would be for Ron is still young, wait, either get on the VP ticket and serve 4 years under Trump and then be your own person, basically 2 years into that term, because then you start running as your own person, and start identifying to everybody else that, hey, I'm running, I'm out there, I'm the person that's going to take the Republican mantle going forward. Or, and I'm saying, so you got those 4 years, and then you run as president, and now you've got 2 terms basically. So you're literally 12 years in the White House, and you haven't pissed anybody off, especially your base. That would be my political calculus if that was me in Ron DeSantis' shoes. I'd be playing the waiting game. Support Trump as much as possible. Get as much loyalty as you can. Because you go into that fight right now, you're going to say some things that some people, when it comes time for you to run, if you lose to Trump in the primary and you decide 4 years later to come back, we're going to remember, they're going to remember that. That's going to be hard to come back from. Anyways, let's continue with Ana.
Different calculation. And I think the calculation to continue backing Trump because they think their daddy is still going to do well in the Republican primary in 2024. I think they have the right idea. Honestly, from what I've seen in terms of responding to attacks from Trump, neither Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis know what to do. It's kind of hilarious.
No, for sure. Nikki Haley's a mess. She has no chance. But I'm going to come back to why Kayleigh McEnany is actually kind of right in a second. But first, I want to read you Trump's statement about Nikki Haley because I think it's hilarious. So he said, the greatest thing Nikki Haley did for our country and the great state of South Carolina was accepting the position of United Nations ambassador so that the incredible then Lieutenant Governor, Henry McMaster, could be the governor of South Carolina, where he's done an absolutely fantastic job. That was a big reason why I appointed Nikki to the position. It was a favor to the people I love, in South Carolina.
Look, let's just pause for a second.
Yeah.
No, that was masterful though.
I know, but it's also hilarious.
It's hilarious, but it's an effective dig, right? I think it's effective. I don't know. I could be wrong.
But no, it's of course it's going to work. Every dig's going to work. The Republicans love anyone who punches people in the face, right?
I kind of do too.
Yeah, I hear you on that. But what's hilarious about that dig is like, I knew she was such a.
As if you said don't punch back, or Ana, or any of us. I mean, come on, folks. That's the fun. That's the beauty, you know? You got to have thick skin to be in this game, all right? I would love for the Young Turks to react to my videos. The problem is that they don't. I know they're huge, and we're still tiny and growing. But the fact of the matter is, as I say all the time, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, it's these guys, they're wrong. The reason that they can't respond to my videos, whether we're still small and growing as a channel right now, is because they don't have any effective, way of coming back at me, because my positions are 100% correct and they can't defend their position with my arguments. Anyways, let's continue. Oh, and that wasn't too bad for Cenk. Doing a slight impersonation there of President Trump.
Crappy governor in South Carolina, that in order to do the good folks in South Carolina a favor, I promoted her to United Nations ambassador for the United States of America. That is not a winning argument for your management style.
America first.
Okay, who's going to represent us globally? The woman doing a crappy job in South Carolina. Okay, man. And remember how he's like, I'm the best manager. I will manage everything perfectly. And then like 80% of the people that work with him, they're terrible. Should have never hired them. They're the worst. Okay. Well, then I guess you're the world's worst manager, which is of course true. But why is Kayleigh McEnany right? Well, look, for a little while, Nikki Haley was hot among Republican circles. And why? Because Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't wrong. She's Bush in heels, right? She's classic establishment Republican. And she's a giant warmonger, loves corporate power, all those things. So of course the Republican establishment loves her, right? And if she had gotten into an earlier presidential race, maybe.
On this part here, Cenk is making some sense. Big time establishment, big time neocon, Bush in heels. Okay, that's a new one I haven't heard. But yes, absolutely. And that's the difference between the Trump part of the Republican wing of the conservative wing of the Republican Party and Nikki Haley. She may think she's a conservative, but she's probably more on she's a neocon. Come on, okay? She's not really conservative. She's an establishment candidate. That's what she is. She's in the mold of the Bushes, of the Rubios, of the John McCains, those kind. Just like I said, she's in heels instead of flats.
Maybe she should have had a shot while she was hot back then, right? Mm-hmm. Now Ron DeSantis is super hot. Why? Because Murdoch and a couple other right-wing media executives have decided they prefer him to Trump, and that's that tape we showed you. That was devastating. That's all the right-wing was. Oh yeah, DeSantis. Because they know where their bread is buttered. Okay, and so
also, but let me also just note, there are plenty of right-wing media figures and also corporate executives and all that who actually despise Trump, but felt like they had to support him anyway, right? Now that there might be another option, it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to prop up the other option because 100%. They don't actually like Trump. It's really important to understand that.
Well, DeSantis is going to give them everything they want, minus the instability of the madman that's Donald Trump.
Right, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
And when Trump tried to end democracy, those oligarchs thought, no, wait, we already have this government on lockdown. If he's solely in charge and he's the dictator, well, that reduces our power. We don't want that. It's not like they're trying to protect the American people. They're just trying to protect themselves.
Exactly.
But so there's a battle between just like two giant evil forces, which are both horrible. But back to the political strategy point that McEnany is making, if DeSantis waits till 2028 because he's scared of Donald Trump, all of his momentum might be gone. He might be an afterthought, just like Nikki Haley is today, polling at 3%. Oh, remember that?
I don't think that's true at all, because there are other people that are going to come in there, but DeSantis is going to have enough gravitas if he decides to wait out here and go into 2028. Because remember, it won't be 2028. He will start to do this in 2026. So you're literally talking 3 years from now for DeSantis to start when President Trump comes in 2024. So in this again, the political calculus is, and I would urge the Young Turks, the Turks, to come on and rebut what I've been saying. But I know that's his opinion. It's classically wrong, because, like I said, is that who else is going to step up here that's got the gravitas of Ron DeSantis, coming off the heels of another governor ship of 4 years of Florida, and look what he's done. And plus all that, come on, he's going to be in the news. He's going to be out there. He's going to be at the forefront. The news is going to continue to prop him up. That's going to be there. So I completely dismiss what Cenk is saying, that if Ron DeSantis, the reason he's saying that is because he wants DeSantis to get in now to destroy his chances of getting anything in 2028. Anyways, let's continue.
That DeSantis guy,
Yeah,
right?
She is right about that.
Yeah. So if DeSantis has any courage at all, and he's actually going to make a run for it, he should go now, and he should go in as soon as possible to get more media attention. But I mean, I think DeSantis is a coward, and I'd be a little surprised if he went in. I think he's probably wetting himself thinking about it right now, because as he sees Trump crush everything in his path, I guarantee.
And as he came up with that, wetting his pants or whatever, I just think that he has to make that political calculus, Ron DeSantis, and decide that, do I want to get into the political ring with President Trump, who somehow has the ability to come out smelling like a rose, as far as to us people that believe in Trump, the MAGA movement, regardless of what's happening out there. So if DeSantis attacks Trump and Trump goes and attacks DeSantis, those of us obviously on the Trump side are going to say absolutely. But the problem that's happening is that is now, to some independents and others out there, and maybe some of these moderate Republicans and these right-wing, like the Daily Wire and some of these others out there, the Fox News, Republicans, they may disdain that, obviously. Bad taste. Oh, you're hurting our guy. You're taking shots at our guy, Ron DeSantis, right now. We don't like it. We're going to stay away, just like everybody did, right? The Bushes stayed away. All the elite, Republicans, the conservatives, the moderates, the progressives, all of them basically, the Mitt Romney types, John McCain types, what happened. Just said, that's it. We're not going to vote for Trump. We're not going to do anything. We're backing away. And it doesn't matter what happens. If the Democrats win, so what? But at least we didn't back Trump. That's exactly what's going to play out if DeSantis decides to come into the ring with Trump, and you've got that political infighting. Hey, in the end, just like everything else, you say things during the course, and then you somehow come together and you go, hey, didn't you call that guy an idiot? Now you're running as his VP. What happens? I mean, folks, we know that's what happens in politics. But one of the best things that could occur would be for Ron DeSantis, if he does, to enter, not play the game and the name game, and not play the, punch back with Trump, but just get in there, have his name out there, knowing that he could be the vice presidential pick. And that would be an unbelievable ticket. Trump, DeSantis in 2024. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. Thanks for watching, and it's the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Nasir. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. And I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.